RMSO, we're on a dirt road roundtable drive. We are on Smith Fork Road in Wyoming. We're going back to a place that we've been camping. Jenny and I are tent camping right between two Bigfoot sightings. One happened in LaBarge Meadows, and then the other one happened at Clear Creek. In this area back in here, on the Kemmerer side of, there's a couple of Bigfoot sightings back there that are on the BFRO website that happened over there. One of them, two bear hunters claimed that the Bigfoot tossed a log down the mountain at them while they were hiking into their bear bait station. The other one, a couple of guys coming back from hiking at the trailhead, they thought they saw 3 people messing with their car, and as they got closer, they weren't people. They believe that the 3 Bigfoot that were checking out their car was possibly checking it out of curiosity. Then up on Clear Creek, this kid was getting a drink out of the creek, and as he looked up after scooping some water up to his mouth, there was a Bigfoot almost face to face. He says about 12 inches from his face, just staring at him. And then they both stood up, and he doesn't know how tall the creature was, but he said he had to really crane his head back to look at it. And then in LaBarge Meadows, that was a nighttime one. The kid woke up to a Bigfoot hovering over him. They were sleeping out under the stars in sleeping bags. Him, his brother, his dad, and his sister. And the creepy thing is the Bigfoot was standing right over his sister, staring at his sister sleep. And then on the Star Valley side of this, we're kind of on the Star Valley side right now. I would consider this closer to the Star Valley. There's people that own property here that claim that they saw Bigfoot too, so it's a Bigfoot sighting hotspot, and we're camping right between 2 sightings. We're less than a mile from one of the sightings. A lot of flowers blooming right now.
Up on top of this mountain, there's still snow.
This looks like a good spot. I accidentally squished a mosquito. Thought I was bleeding, but no, it was a squished mosquito. It's weird, either end of those pipes, it sounded like I could hear people talking. I thought maybe there was someone nearby and it was amplifying their voices in there, but it's just whatever the water running through that corrugated pipe was making people talking sounds. Maybe it was picking up a radio station. It's weird how they don't really have any official camp places back here. What's up?
Big dirt road where everybody just kind of has made spots.
I wonder if that is hogwash.
I don't know, but it sure looks like it.
It looks enough like it, I don't want to touch it. Sick of dirt roads.
That's pretty. Look over there.
Wow. The mountain is pretty. Been on nothing but dirt roads the last 2 days. And got one more day of dirt roads before we're done.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks they don't pave many roads to Bigfoot. To where Bigfoot lives. The two Bigfoot sightings that we're camped between are both summertime Bigfoot sightings. So we're here during the correct time. And it's up around 9,000 feet elevation, so big, hairy animal going to the tops of the mountains where it's cooler in the summertime makes sense to me.
There are bears up here. We heard them this morning. Down by the river.
Yep, a few vocalizations. Yeah, there's bear warning signs everywhere up here. Anywhere the Forest Service puts signs, they usually put bear warning signs along with them.
Night on the way in, we had antelope cross right in front of us and a red fox.
That's right. Seen a lot of antelope this weekend, and I've seen a few deer. Actually, I just took a photograph about an hour ago of a deer that was only about 10 feet from me.
Yeah.
Just standing there staring at me. She let me take a couple of really nice photos before she got spooked and took off. We were exploring Cottonwood Lake is where we saw her. Came in last night. We came in from the Kemmerer side of all of this, and that's the side where the bear hunters had their incident, and then the guys had the Bigfoot come up checking out their car while they were out hiking. That'd be weird coming back to your car and there's 3 Bigfoot hanging out checking out your car.
Yeah. Your safe place is being invaded. Waking up and having a Bigfoot looming over you in your sleeping bag is worse.
Yes, I'd rather be the guys seeing it down by my car, yeah, and wake up and having it hanging over. Yeah, he said that he could hear it breathing, and he was afraid to breathe. He just laid there quietly. He was afraid to make a peep, and it just stood over staring at his sister, leaned over checking her out, and then he says he could hear others in their camp walking around, and then finally the creature stood up straight and walked off. I'll make sure I do the full sighting reports for you guys, and I'll also put his written reports in a blog. And so when I have those done, I'll put the links to those in the description of this video, so you can go watch the sighting report video. We like to go to the spots, or as close to the spots as we can, and film a little bit showing you the area, and then we tell you about the full report. And then we also like to put the written report on the blog, so you can go and read the more accurate report that comes right from the witnesses.
It was really nice of them to send it to us and explain how to find it, all that.
Yes, he says he was just here on Wednesday. He did a drive back here with his wife, showing her his 2 Bigfoot sighting places. He comes from a ranching family, and they have grazing rights in 7 different spots in this area.
There's a big elk. Oh my. Holy cow, look at that monster.
That's a deer.
I know it.
Looks like an elk. He's so big. I don't know if you guys can see with this camera. Jenny's
I thought he was an elk at first.
those, when they got the felt on their antlers, they just seem so much bigger. He's up in between dead center of that clearing up there, you guys.
Whoa, his antlers are huge.
That's the second time that you saw a buck so big you thought it was an elk at first.
I know.
When I'm in these Bigfoot sighting areas and see the animals, you know, makes you wonder, is the Bigfoot eating those animals? Does the Bigfoot eat what that deer's eating? Or both?
Okay.
I think the Bigfoot eats both.
I'll leave him alone.
I think he has salad and meat.
He's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big one.
He's a nice one.
We got some film and some pictures of him, so we'll throw that in.
Looks
there.
like he's got 3 points on each side right now. And they've got felt antlers, so they're still growing. Yeah, we'll throw those photos of him at the end of this video for you guys, or put it right here.
Sorry if I said a swear. I wasn't sure if I said one or not.
If you said a swear word, I'll cut it out.
Okay.
These driving roundtables are kind of our version of a podcast or roundtable. It's nice to show you guys the drive in and out of these places and have a little bit of a discussion. But I'd much prefer to do these talk about Bigfooting while I'm out Bigfooting, as opposed to sitting at home in my office wishing I was Bigfooting, talking about Bigfooting. But of course, we'll still bring you the traditional podcasts. They have their space, they have their place on our channel, especially if we have guests that we have on that are, you know, just too far away to do them live. We'll just do them on a podcast, or sometimes we like to talk about our Bigfoot experiences on them. So I know a lot of fans don't get why we do these drive-in roundtables, but we do it to give you guys a bigger look at more of the area than just the sighting location alone. Gives you an idea what a Bigfoot habitat may be like and how vast. A lot of vast untouched wilderness back here. We GPS a lot of Bigfoot sighting locations when we get to them, so that we can check them out over a map. And I noticed that this Bigfoot sighting is only 26 miles from the Bloody Bucket.
As the crow flies.
If you could fly straight across the mountains, but animals
Can.
they? Mm-hmm.
They just walk right up over the bridge.
Yeah, I saw a study on wolverines, radio-collared wolverines, and they go straight over the mountaintops. You know, a lot of scientists, you know, just assumed that these animals would travel in easier places to travel like we do in the valleys and the passes and stuff, but they started finding that these wolverines just go, if they need to go this direction, they don't go find a pass or a valley to go through. They just go right over the mountain where they need to go. So, you know, maybe Bigfoot does the same thing. I know I see elk and deer do the same thing. They just go right up the mountain and over the top. Even though the Bloody Bucket's only 26 miles from this spot, the roads that twist and turn, blah, 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 that get to the Bloody Bucket, we probably have to travel 80, 90 miles to actually get to the Bloody Bucket, even though it's 26 miles straight shot if you could fly to it. But I'd like to see that type of information, you know. If those two places are only 26 miles away, they're kind of a relative area, in my opinion. And I was just talking about wolverine earlier. They say that a wolverine usually has about a 50 square mile area territory. The males will defend a 50 square mile area. Well, does a Bigfoot have a 50 square mile? Does it have 10? Does it have 100? You know, so when you start thinking about it in that type of a relation, you know, the Bloody Bucket and this area could be one alpha male Bigfoot's territory. One Bigfoot could be defending both spots because they, you know, they're within a reasonable territory area, in my opinion. For those of you that have never heard of the Bloody Bucket, you guys should do a search and look up our sighting report and expeditions into the Bloody Bucket. One of the things about the Bloody Bucket is witnesses. A lot of witnesses that see Bigfoot in there, they don't see just one, they see three of them that hang out together in the Bloody Bucket. Three different sizes. Some of them have reported an 8 foot tall, 7 foot tall, and the other one right around 6 feet tall. So who knows if they're a family unit or whatever, but there's been several of those sightings come out of the Bloody Bucket. Okay, we're 26 miles from the Bloody Bucket, and some guys hiking here come down to their car, and there's 3 Bigfoot checking out their car. You know, is it the same 3 Bigfoot that people see hanging out together at the Bloody Bucket? I mean, 26 miles, in my opinion, is within reason that they could be the same 3 Bigfoot. Yeah, I think they have a large territory. There's not very many of them, so they would have a large territory. I think there'd be a lot more Bigfoot sighting reports than there are. They'd get spotted a lot more often if there was more of them. So I'm going to go out on the limb and just assume that the 3 Bigfoot saw by the car here are the same 3 Bigfoot that keep getting seen in the bloody bucket.
This is LaBarge Meadows.
Monte Cristo for the skeeters. Bet you the mosquitoes are all dead in a month, though. Want to hold that? Thank you. I can't believe this goes to Alpine. "41 miles to LaBarge this way. 24 miles to get out the other way, right?"
But from here to there, where we're at, I don't know how far it is.
Yeah, there's the sign that says 24 to whatever it is.
No, I mean from here to our camp.
Yeah.
I doubt it's 20 miles.
A great place to go four-wheeling. I mean, they got hundreds of miles to ride your ATV. When I was an older teenager and in my early 20s, me and my friends used to throw out a tarp and just sleep out with a sleeping bag. And I don't like doing that anymore. I don't want to wake up to a raccoon licking my face or whatever. So I kind of understand that family that just slept out. If I have his story right, I think they were sleeping in the bed of the truck. But I don't know. I'm kind of confused if they were sleeping on the ground by the truck or if they were sleeping in the bed of the truck. But I know they weren't. They were out in the open.
I thought they were sleeping on the side of the truck, on the ground.
Uh-huh. That's probably what it is. Zoom out and get those pretty trees to the right in the background. Nice. lot of that road in from LaBarge was paved. So it says 41, but it, you know, how far is it to pavement? That was
20.
Yeah, it's probably half of it was paved.
Yeah.
That was nice, except for pretty rugged after you leave pavement. A lot more rugged on that side.
Those springs are on the other side.
There's another camera. It's in the glove box, I think. I bet you Bigfoot goes after the baby ducks and the eggs, and why not?
People on Survivor shows do.
Uh-huh.
If you forage, I guess that's what you do.
Cliff faces off to our left are just cool.
They're steep.
Okay, so LaBarge Meadows is one of the Bigfoot sightings, and we just drove past that, and then Clear Creek. I believe it's Little Clear Creek is the other one, and we're camping right in between them both. Pitched our lovely tent.
It is a lovely tent.
Yeah.
It's better than our old one.
Our see-through one?
Our it's old, it's see-through.
Yeah. When somebody walks by the tent, you can make out the color of the clothes they're wearing, is how see-through it is.
See a little red bear.
I've had that tent for close to 30 years. So I think it's retired. Stuff just usually don't last that long, but that did. Especially a tent.
My favorite tent that I've ever had was one of those big square canvas tents from the 70s. I loved that thing. It was big and square. You could stand up in all of it.
And my parents had a big canvas one. They called it a 5-man tent, but you could fit 10 kids in there. That's where we all slept when we went camping, and the parents would stay in the trailer. But when I was a kid camping, the tent it was all about the tent. Didn't feel like camping unless you were in a tent.
Yep, off to your left, folks, is our campground. We're passing it right now.
Where? I miss the turn?
Yeah, but I thought we
Oh.
were going to the creek.
No, we're going to the other sighting spot.
Okay.
I want to look around that spot a little bit before we go back to camp. And we'll be listening for vocalizations tonight.
Yay.
Yeah, I heard a lot of creepy sounds last night. Not saying any of them was Bigfoot, but when you camp as much as we do, you get used to the forest sounds. So when you're hearing vocalizations you're not used to, you're like, huh, what was that?
Yeah. Or crashing through the sticks and the brush and it's something big and you're hoping that it's a deer or an elk and not a bear.
And then something sitting there scratching our camping table last night.
Yeah.
The second Bigfoot sighting that we were camped between, Clear Creek, is only a mile further. For some reason our dash camera malfunctioned and we don't have the rest of the footage the other mile to Clear Creek, but we took some photos when we got there and have those, so we'll show you the photos of the area. Here's a structure that we found hiking along Clear Creek. Not saying it's Bigfoot, but there's a lot of people that are into Bigfoot that are into any kind of structures in the forest. This looks like a lean-to someone would make for a survival shelter, so we took some photos of it. Hope you enjoyed our LaBarge Bigfoot Camp Roundtable Drive. We're going to continue to look around the area for Bigfoot, signs of Bigfoot, keep our ears open for those vocalizations. I hope you guys enjoyed our style of podcast. We call them Dirt Road Roundtable Drives. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.